They will go live with this one. You can have two conversations going on at the same time, so we can be live on two more channels. No, I don't think I have it. Let me see if I have it. I may have missed something. So shout out to everyone in the comments. Each one, teach one. It's a Friday morning. I know the quality of the video is compromised, but it is what it is. We are still going to use it. Okay. I'm setting up another channel, so that's why you see me looking on the other side. I'm signing into this, so I'm sending into the other channel so that we can begin this now. Shout out to everyone in the comments. Each one teach one. I have to switch this account. What have they done to my account? Kwani kunaenda aje huko Metaverse? What's happening in Metaverse? Metaverse has switched my accounts again. Oh no. Metaverse has switched your accounts again. I've recovered it. Oh my God. I'm laughing because of a quote. And I'm laughing because of a quote. Now, this quote is nothing more but the same thing we keep saying. And I didn't even want this conversation to go. I didn't want this conversation. I didn't want this conversation to go too deep into the esoteric. I wanted this conversation to remain around love and appreciation being a Friday. But sasa nimeona hii live inaweza enda very deep. It was not the plan. So let me title it on Facebook as Unplanned Deep Dives. Deep Dives. Okay, Unplanned Deep Dives. We are going to dive, go live. So you're live there and you're live here. So I had not planned to go deep, but fuck it. Let's go deep now. Now, when we say that you are the gods, because some people are going to say that you are the gods and you fell, okay, which is true. You fell all the way from what you call the Nephilims, the vitu kama hizo. So when you fall, so falling, stop looking at falling like something that has to come from a position up to down, because you live in reverse. You have everything reversed. So to fall in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension just means to, aka, let your light fall. And that things that fall means that things has got density. For something to fall is not fall from up, down. It's fall, aka accumulate. too much. Because the more thoughts and feelings you accumulate, the more terms and conditions you have, the more heavy you become, like a cloud. Okay? When you are looking at the clouds and they are gathering rain, what happens when it becomes too heavy? It rains. Not rain, R-A-I-N, what you call raining here, rainfall. But in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, aka in the spiritual world, to reign is to preside over. A king reigns. R-E-I-G-N. So to reign, aka to be supreme over something, to overlook something. So you, being the gods, means you rule over something or you oversee something, but the over something that you are overruling or overcoming or seeing or being in charge is your thoughts and creation, which is your mind. So your mind, which is the mind that you're using to observe other things. Okay? Remember, you are not your body. This is not you. This is something that you call human. Human is the same like a goat. This is the same like a goat or a cow or a chicken or an ant or this is just a flesh. This is just a vessel that we use. This is something we wear like clothes. It's called a human being. The way you can call a dog, that is why you are a human being. You are a being that loves the light. So this being, when you possess this being, when your spirit is using this being, this is the highest. In this lowest density of the 3D, this is the highest vibrating being you can use. You can jump in. It's a body. So you can use this being, this physicality, this form, the thing that is taking shape to do your rituals in the 1, 2, 3rd dimension. Your rituals, aka your witchcraft, your rituals, what you are crafting, what you are creating, rituals and spells, what you are speaking about, the spellings, the things that come out of your mouth in the beginning, what you are creating. Okay? So, what are you creating? Because you are the creator, you are not the creation. You are creating with your words. What are you building? You are building the Burj Khalifas. You are building the Donald Trump towers. You are building their structures. So even if you had yours, your KICC, now you have to sell it to them. So you are still building to them. You are still having all those pyramids to them. So it is still the same pyramids updated. Because back in the day, when you say that you created the pyramids, I have a question for you. If you built the pyramids, on which side were you standing? Were you standing on the side that was funding the pyramids? Or are you standing on the side that was building? Because in the pictures, it is you who are pulling like donkeys and cats. But in the same pictures, we can see the pharaohs in rulership, ruling over their own kind. So the pharaohs were not special. The pharaohs were your presidents today. The pharaohs are your presidents today. Since you are still being ruled by your black people, it was still black people ruling you and putting you in slavery. And even today, it is still black presidents ruling and putting you in debt and slavery every day. So it is the same energy updated. So even back in the days, the people building the pyramids, they think they were building their government. So you think you are building your government, but you are building for them. And them, they are also answerable to others. Okay? It's a galactic federation of light. The Galactic Federation of Light. That is why you are human beings, beings that love the light, you and the moth. The moth loves the light. And when it comes to the light, it burns and gets destroyed. You love the light, and that light ends up blinding you. AKA, too much brightness, lightness, becomes darkness. If I take a strong torch and I shine it in your eyes, you can see. If you are to turn the light around, you can use it to maneuver through the darkness, through the accumulation, the denses, because there's nothing like light and night or dark. In the spiritual world, there's nothing like dark or light is only dimness and brightness. Something is either bright or dimness. Even the darkest night, today is a dark night. It's still not dark. It's just dim. It's very dim. You can dim your light out to the point you can't see anything. He's dimmed his light out. So it's dimness and brightness. There's nothing like light and day. Hiyo ni yako, man created for the physical, the 1, 2, 3 dimension. So now, shout out to everyone. Today's Friday. It's Love and Appreciation Day. So we should not even have been going too deep into the esoteric world. If we do in a 518 kwa love. So let's get back to love. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about love, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good times, all the good things. Yeah. Hey, let's talk about love. Let's talk about love. Let's not go too deep on the spiritual world. It's a Friday. We need to have some love and appreciation. You can't be taking the children of God on such deep dives esoterically. Show them some love. That is how we love. We love waking people up. That is how. Shout out to Shining Star. Shining Star is sending popsicles. Yummy. Shining Star. Now, so let's talk about love. So the other day I went for a haircut. This is a true story. Story. You're supposed to stay. So story come. Story come. So I went to some barber shop. Shout out to the gifts. I went to some barber shop to get a haircut. And you know I'm balding, eh? You know you guys, you don't know I'm balding. Look at my balding hair. So kiarage yakwa kirorete itina. So my bald head is going to my ass. Eh? I have a shiny ass. So my shiny ass soon will look like my shiny head. So I told the barber, nibakishe kanywele hapa. Unaona hapa. And then I told him, I said, I want you to leave some hair. I want to look like Tintin. So the young men in the kinyozi, they look at me like, what? What is Tintin? Ati Tintin? What is Tintin? And nikauliza, kwani hamjui Tintin? They're like, what do you mean Tintin? I'm like, hamjui Thompson and Thompson? So wananiangalia wanashindwa, who is Thompson and Thompson? Naambia mukuona, kwani you didn't grow around Tintin? You don't know who Tintin is? Shout out for the likes and the shares. You don't know about Tintin? You don't know about Thompson and Thompson? So wananiangalia naambia, you don't know Captain Haddock? Wanashindwa, who is Captain Haddock? Now I have to tell them, I have to give them a story. Naambia, billions of blistering barnacles. Billions of blistering barnacles. You don't know Tintin? You don't know Obelix and Asterix? You don't know that Obelix was always afraid that the sky was falling on his head? Obelix. I'm looking at them. They are looking at me. You don't know of romance? Yes, I'm like, you don't know of romance. They are looking at me, what romance? And I am, shit. It's a program. Nikipindi. The word is a joke. The word Nikipindi. The word in the program. So I'm talking to them and then I tell them, wait a minute. You know, you have to see it. So each generation is raised on a different vibration. So the reason we were raised about Asterix and Obelix, remember those were the Romans, they were always scared of the sky falling on their heads. They wanted our minds very deep into the Roman conquest. So in my age group, we grew up deep into the Roman conquest. We grew up with that Roman thing still on our mind, okay? Now, when you look at it deeply, it was a plan. The people who grew up around Obelix and Asterix and Obelix, remember what were they doing? They were conquering lands. They were coming in boats, taking over. So the history that was being taught in the schools around that time was of lands being taken over, aka colonization. But it was not colonization as per se, but it was colonization, what you call oral tradition, what we are speaking, the spells, what make you believe that we have taken over their lands when they came with the swords. Let's get back to love and appreciation. I'm going too deep now. Okay, now, so it's a program. Every generation, you are made to pay attention to Archie and Sabina. Believe in love. Archie and Sabrina. Okay? So that becomes the mind state that the people who are ruling you, now they know how to rule you. They know that to come to you about love and sex and bring you new diseases, they have to give you things like Archie and Sabina, comic books, to craft your minds a certain way on how to think about love na vitu kama hizo. How to act when it comes to love based on Archie and Sabina. And since they know that it tickles from what you call city hall. It tickles from where they set their shrines. Okay, their terms and conditions on the lands that they have taken over. Those would be the city halls, the city clock, where you'd go and watch the games, the arena games, wherever you are, whichever part of the country, whichever part of the world you are. So those would be where you'd go to watch the games, the arena games. Today we have stadiums, the vitu kama hizo. So the city clock or their clocks. Okay, so when you're looking at any format or any city and how it's made as a clock. So if you go to your city hall, whichever country you are, whether it is Kenya, Malawi, Zimbabwe, it doesn't matter. When you go to the entrance of the city hall and you start moving east, the more east you go, okay, which is going to your true north, the more you are going to see the shrines of the people who are ruling you. So the more east you go, you are either going to see a Mason lodge, or you're going to see a Catholic church, or you're going to see, I won't say their names, you know them. You know who we are talking about. You know whom, when we mention them, they take over your things. They have the hate spirit in them. They feel like they are righteous. They are the children of God. That is what they call themselves. You know who they are. So you're either going to find their synagogue also on that line, and you can go to Nairobi, try it through yourself. You can go to any city, and that's how you know who or the people who are raising you, or their shrines, or their terms and conditions, or their magic squares, or how they are interpreting the what you call as above, so below, by studying the celestials, aka either the stars or the satellites that they have thrown out there that have been captured into what you call water currents, current news, current events. It's all an inference from beings outside of you. Okay? You are like cells within cells. The same way you have cells living inside you, your blood thing, you have the red blood cell, platelets, whatever, sperm cell, all the cells that you have in your waters moving inside you. Those cells, they don't know that they are working for you. Those cells inside your body think that they are just animal cells. For them, it's life as normal. For them, they live in a water cycle, red, blood. For you, it's red, passion, because it's moving. It has to be red. That is why blood is red. Passion, it's moving, it's flowing. It's transformation going on. So blood has to be red. That's the reason it's red. Red color, the energy of red color, that frequency. So now, which is Tuesday, or what you call mass energy, ruled by the first house, Aries, the beginning. Now, so the same way those cells are inside you is the same way you are inside this being, inside this firmament, inside this brain thought form. So you are inside what you can call like a brain cell. It's just one of the cells. It's just one of the head. But then you are saying that you are aware of the other dimension. So you are aware of from the first to the ninth. Okay? That is why you are aware of going somewhere, expanding, becoming the one. Jet Li. Jet Li was the one. In the Matrix, it is Neo. Neo is one reversed. And I'm the one. I'm also the one. So now, you're also the one. You are the one. You are the Neo. in the Matrix. You are the one in Jet 3. You are the one watching me. It's all about you. Now, you are the creator. You are not the creation. So you are creating, just the creator is creating. So you make God possible. Without you, there's no possibilities of all possibilities, what you call God. God is all possibilities. And you make God possible. But the possibilities we are making possible for this God is what we are experiencing. So this God that you are following has already experienced all this and died and shed from that being. Rest, in the Bible they say, and God rested, and here you say rest in peace. So you are living inside a dead being. And that is even why you are working to ascend, so that you can shed out of that dead thing, be born again or birthed into a new life. So you're already inside a dead being. But you're not ready for that. Because none of you can believe that God is dead. Because for you, dead is things coming to an end. But death is birth. That is why the word death has a TH. Birth has a TH. To go, TH means to go through. Is that hissing sound, TH, to go through. So when you are going through death, going through, experiencing death is transformation. You are going to be birthed into a new world, a new being, incarnated, reincarnated, born, shed, Big Bang, evoluted, or whatever you want to call it, into a new being. Back to love. You have to mix it, eh? So I'm talking to the guys in the barber shop. And the guys in the barber shop, now they are curious. They are tuambie about that cartoon. Now, I start the whole story over. I'm like, Tintin was like me. You see the curly hair you're living on my head, eh? That was like me. But Tintin had a dog. And the name of the dog, I have Coco the Pooper. So the name of the dog is Snowy. Excuse me. So these young guys at the kinyozi, they are looking at me like, what? You mean you have seen such good cartoons? So I tell them about Tintin. I tell them about Billions of Blue Blistering Barnacles, the story of Captain Haddock. Okay, I tell them about Obelix and Asterix. I tell them about Archie and Sabina. I tell them about, can you remind me in the comments, what are the other comics you can remember? I even told them about Juha Karuru. I told them about Mad Star No. I told them about the jokes we grew about. So, as we are talking, I tell them that each and every generation, and a generation only lasts for 49 years. It's a jubilee, 50 years. Because a generation is equivalent to, for example, in today's time, how you measure what you call Itueka or a jubilee. We can create ours now. We don't have to use their jubilees. We can create our jubilee right now. So what we will do, selectively, we'll look for all the women who are starting their menses today. Any woman who has her first monthly menses or periods today, being a Friday, whatever day it is. So all the girls who would start their menses today, we would take them and mark them and make them be remembered or known. Then these women, remember, after 14 years, these women are only fertile for how many months? 39 moons. So after a woman gets her first periods, she's only fertile for 39 moons or 39 years. Okay? Before she gets to menopause. So these women will take the 39, how long it takes them to get to their menopause. And as they are getting their menopause, we would say that generation is gone. That is a jubilee. Because it is the 39, okay, plus the 14 or the 13 when they started their periods. That makes it 50 years. So that's a whole generation. That's how you measure a generation. That generation is gone. So when they talk of generations for you, even when they're talking of the Gen Z, even when they're talking of the baby boomers, even when they're talking of what you call Generation X, all those generations, when they are counting on those generations are now what they are using to cultivate the minds of the generations that are coming. Okay? So the generations that will be incoming, based on what they are watching, based on, let's say they are watching Archie and Sabina, they are watching Asterix, they are watching Obelix, they are watching Tintin. The Tintin will be about taking over lands, and remember they came in boats. So that is the story and the history that you're also being taught in school. So the history you are being taught in school has to be with the imagery that they are creating for you. So what you are learning in school, the Vasco da Gama, how they came, they put it in magazines and books. So you have Asterix and Obelix, always the Romans, always afraid of the skies falling on them, coming with swords and shields. So that is what you're also learning on the Roman conquest on the books in the curriculum. Okay, that is how you discover their tools. That is how you discover how deep the programming goes. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. It's not just what you see, it's what you learn and the imagery, aka the Jesuit intellect, the intellect to understand that it is all about imagery, as above, so below. The Jewish literature, aka the literature and how it's planned for the books. And the Masonic art, aka the art of drawing it, whereby we can draw people burning in hell and draw them as dark characters. But it's the people who are missing the point. The reason we are drawing them black is because they are not black in skin color. It's because when you are in the lowest animalistic states, you are the below the chakra organ. So you are in darkness. These are the organs below the waist, below Virgo. So below Virgo, you go to Libra. Then you go to Scorpio, the 8th house, before you get to Sagittarius, the thighs, then the knees, up Capricorn. Then you go to Aquarius, the shin, and Pisces, the foot. So this is even how he created the clock, the monad, above the horizon before you get to the PM, where we go to below, aka when you go to the Bible, he made two great luminaries, one to shine over the day, called it the light, or the sun, and one to rule over the night, called it the moon. So you have the moon and the sun. The sun is externalizing the masculine. The moon is internalizing the feminine, the mombi. The Gikoyo is the masculine. The mombi is the internalization, the feminine. The ability of you to go within, aka that light that you shine, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. So the light that you shine can bend in on itself to see the darkness, the moon, the reflection. How do I feel? The feelings now, okay? The emotions, the waters, the reactions, the moon. Now back to the live. So we are talking at the barber shop. Na wakaninyoa, wakanibakisha kanywele. Unaona nikabakisha kabakisha kanywele hapa katintin. I'm balding. My bald is going to my ass. Kiharage yako kirorete itina. Back to the live. So now, it's all about the love. It's Friday, love and appreciation. Shout out to the people hitting the likes, people liking. Hakuna mtu ana share. It's bullshit. They don't like sharing vitu mzuri. Shout out to Rewambo and Savea Didio Kihanya. Now to our Facebook, you're also not sharing. You are stingy asses, but it's okay. That is how human beings are. It's a trait with the spirit. The spirit loves being distracted. So even the spirit, if it stumbles on knowledge, it does not want to share. It wants to fall. Back to the live. So I'm live on TikTok and I'm live on Facebook. So mnaweza salimiana. Tusalimiane, tujaliane, You see now, you can't see a reflection of anything because what is happening. So, listening to the birds. Tusikie kama kuna mbogo kwa tunyoni. Sawa. Yeah, what does it cost you to share a video? You are stingy asses. Stingy asses. But I can't blame you. You are all demons. We all fell. But I'm an angel. I refuse to be a demon. I was a demon that I fell, but now I'm growing my wings. So now I'm an angel. So I cannot associate myself with demons. I can point the demons. I work with the demons that are good. I work with all the demons that are for me. Sometimes that is even why they say it is better the enemy you know. It is better the demon you know than the angel you don't know. Most of you pretend to be angels, but you won't share information. Anyway, so now back to the live, or even like the live. Sikupenda kwako. So we have a whole conversation. And so I told them, so each generation is raised differently. So whatever you are learning in school has to go with what they are showing you. For example, your children right now are watching Roblox. They are watching Roblox. But the children who are watching Roblox is not your African children. It is their children who are already in AI. So their children are already in the computer age. Their children are already running with computers. So for them, they are going to understand Roblox more because now they're dealing with binaries, blocks. So your child may be watching Roblox in Africa, and in actual reality, it is their enemy because they are not learning that in school. They are still learning with books. They are still behind. They are still in slavery. It's witchcraft. Nimekuambia inaitwa nini? Inaitangwa Jewish Jesuits intellect. You can write it down. It is called the Jesuit intellect, the intellect. Masonic art, because those are the builders. Those are the people who create the arts. Those are the people who draw people being thrown in fire and burning in hell. But they understand that it's not that kind of fire. When unafikiria ni moto kama hiyo, because they put illustrations. But when you're burning in fire, it's every time you are lost in your emotions and feelings, in your desires. Every time you're in your desires, you feel like you're burning up. It doesn't matter whether you're in desires of love, you're still going to moan. Kill me. Oh, choke me. Do all this. Hit me. Spank me. It's like you are in hell. When you are lost in any type of desire, that desire has to burn you. I'm burning up. I'm burning up. My heart's on fire. I'm burning. So all that is burning. It's desires. So when you are lost in your desires, you feel like you are in hell, like you are burning. So that is why they are drawing like you are burning. It's not to say you are going to be thrown into a lake of fire, because you can be seated with something na akwambie vizuri sana, I'm in hell right now. I'm going through hell. Na mumekaa na yeye unamwambia acha ufala aje. But they are truly in hell because there's something ahead of them that is blocking them. An obstacle that is matirahota guthiĩ through. So they are going through hell. They can't meet their bills na vitu kama hizo. But to get through heaven, you have to go through hell. Because it's not what you are going through, it's how you are going through that thing. So it may not look like you are doing something, but you are going through something. You're going through hell. Going through, keyword, you're going through. But it's not the going through that matters, it's how. It's not what you go through, it's how you go through that. Because you can go through the most trying times and you come out on the other side smiling, still intact. You went through hell. So it's not what you are going through, it's how you are going through it. Because you can make something look beautiful. You can make something look beautiful. No matter how bad it looks, you can make something look beautiful. You can let God experience himself. You can do it for God. You can turn that stone into gold. You can polish it. Instead of throwing rocks at each other, you can polish those rocks and turn them to gold. Turn them to beautiful minds that can work together. But you have too much hate Africans. You don't know how to build a community. And back in the pyramid days, you still didn't know how to build a community. You still build the pyramids on the side of the slaves. Because when you look at the drawings, it's not your drawings. In today's world, when you look at the Donald Trump's towers, it's not your names on those towers. When you look at the Burj Khalifa, it's not your names on those towers. Again, Africans, you have not built a tower. Your Tower of Babel still falls. The story is about you. It's about your falling. It's about you. Fallen minds, fallen giants, fallen gods. And you are beautiful people, but they make you believe that you're not beautiful. You have beautiful minds. If you can collect them together and create communities of love, create communities of teaching your own children, and make them participate in the world. But now the world is not against them, but it is for them, because they can will. May your will be done. They can will things to happen. They can be people who can use their magic. Know that you have to plant a seed, a mustard seed, but you have to water it. And to water a seed, you need to have your emotions in it. You need to add the care energy into that baby. So if it's a business, you need people around you who show you care in your business. Whatever startup you have as an African, you need African people, people like you, putting care energy into your business. But what do? Mtu akifungua M-Pesa, you open your own. So that is why you never build, because you copy. And you don't know how to build. Why would you be sitting on resources and you are the poorest? Because you don't know how to come up as a community and distribute the economy or distribute the resources. So you need to privatize other people to come and take over your forest. Why should you give other people forest to be paid for carbon taxes? While you can do it for yourself, you can negotiate. You can say, as a country, as the country who own the trees, we are demanding, you're not signing any deal. We are demanding our carbon money because we own the trees. You don't have to privatize anything. You don't have to sell to the Arabs to clean their air and they give us peanuts. We can be calling the shots, but you don't know how to sign contracts because you don't know how to work as a community. You don't have the witchcraft. You don't have the esoteric wisdom on how to build. Shout out to everyone. My breakfast is here. I'm going to have my breakfast. You guys, you have had your breakfast. Captain Haddock, TT, Thompson and Thompson, billions of brew blistering barnacles. Billions of brew blistering barnacles. Let us share this one. Mukamijuno, Kanasema Kokomel. Hi Jenga, hi CS. Shout out to CS. Shout out to Mahariel. Shout out to everyone. Irene, invite Irene Confo. Shout out to Irene. Mo joined. Goddess. Shout out to everyone. Jesuit Interact. Yeah. Shout out to Wamwene. Everybody in the comments. Murithi Dungu. Kawaderega in the space. Leopard. Yeah, shout out to everyone. I shout you out. So wipe your camera, please. Now you take the it's an old phone. This one is more clear, but this one is streaming on another stream. So that's an older phone. It is what it is, unless you want to donate a camera or a phone. Okay? Don't complain about my lenses. It's an old phone, unless you're willing to give me another phone or a camera or something to stream with. But I can try. Let me try and wipe it. Has it improved after wiping? I don't think so. It's an old phone. Shout out to Stand With Something who said we wipe our camera, please. I wiped it. It's an older phone. Love and appreciation to you too. So yeah, so that was the story of me going to the barber shop. And also to remind you that every generation, so don't blame yourself too much. Whatever you are going through, understand that there's forces beyond you, what you are thinking about, that are working to make sure that they have captured your mind. So when Bob Marley was saying emancipate yourself from mental slavery, even back then alikuwa ameona hiyo pan-Africanism is a mental slavery. Pan-Africanism is weak. There's nothing to fight for. Africa is just a location. We can break these borders. We can work together and break the borders. The borders are imaginary. The trees don't have it. We don't grow in Kenya. Trees grow. Animals crisscross borders. Birds fly in and out. So we create this as a mentor. Remember, these are imaginary lines. Even the equator is imaginary. It's witchcraft. So there's no borders. So, but our president don't know that because we have created papers, signed, agreed, and MOUs. We can get rid of these MOUs if we can work together, but we don't know how to work together. And Africa can be one giant. But you can't get there because you believe in the passport. You believe in the what do you call it? You believe in the visa. It has to be stamped before you cross a border. But it's imaginary. There's no borders. It is imaginary. It's in our head. So it's mental fuck-ups. But there are beings that make us do that. And we are even willing to die for an imaginary border. You are dying for something imaginary. This is the border of Kenya, Uganda. No, I'll shoot you. Tua. But there's no border. It's imaginary. It's made up. The moment you learn how to come together, to break those mental chains, to see that is when you will be free. That is why the British are ahead of you. They have the Schengen visa. You can go from Britain to Norway to all those Scandinavian countries. They know that as a practice, that makes you think more when you travel. You Africans, you don't even go nowhere. Hata county huwezi enda. Tiniende Kisumu. Kwa hiyo kabila, it's called the divide and conquer spell. It works very well. The divide and conquer spell. You have to see the divide and conquer spell. The divide and conquer spell is the spell you are under when you can't like the video or even share the video. But I don't blame you. Like I told you, it's on how you are raised as a program. So I'm going to end the live on TikTok. Naendelea kwa Facebook. Ni sasa. So I'm ending on TikTok na kuja hapa. So ambieni watu wa TikTok bye. Watu wa TikTok bye. Bye watu wa TikTok. Tunabaki Facebook. Do have a beautiful Friday.